Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 626 Productions thing that we're going to do here. I still don't really have a good name or understanding of what it is, podcast, show, thing. But once again, it's TJ, and yeah, talking sports once again, second day. An improvement. We now have an outline for the day. So hopefully that makes things a little bit better. Hopefully it makes transitions a little bit smoother, quicker, and what have you. So that being said, we're going to hop right in and talk hockey real quick. Last night was the Vancouver Edmonton Game 7, and if you watched it, it was all Edmonton until the last 8 minutes of the game. Then Vancouver finally decided to show up. It was 3-0, and then Vancouver scored two quick goals, and that was it. Vancouver pulled their goalie with about 2 minutes left, and it was brutal hockey to watch. I thought that Vancouver was not skating. They weren't going for it. It just kind of seemed like they were done. I don't know if they were just gassed or what, but it just seemed like they were slow to pucks, didn't really want to. It was very unenthusiastic zone entries. Didn't win any puck battles, and they only got one shot off with the man advantage. And that was kind of the what do you say? Just kind of how the game went. They weren't able to, get many shots on goal. Edmonton really, really controlled the game in that aspect. And now Edmonton moves on to play Dallas in the Western Conference Finals. I think this one's probably gonna be a tougher matchup for Dallas, but I still have them going through to make the Stanley Cup final. I just think that they're playing really good hockey right now. Pretty good clubs. Much as I don't like them, they're still pretty good. But that's it for hockey. Really quick, just a game 7, and then we will address the Eastern Conference Finals next. I believe they play tomorrow, so that will be on Thursday's show. Again, there's no show tomorrow. That is the first of the weekly Sim League podcast show. So we're going to transition over to baseball real quick. This isn't going to be something I talk about or cover a lot, but just periodically. And we're a month and a half into the season, and I figure that it's a good time to show my predictions for divisions, where I kind of see the season going and whatnot from here. This maybe get talked about once a week. I watch baseball just about every day, but I'm not, at this point in the season, I don't feel like it's something to be covered that closely when, talking about all sports, especially you have the NBA and NHL playoffs going on right now. So really quick, I'm going to give you all my AL predictions. So I have the Orioles winning the East, the Royals winning the Central, and the Mariners winning the West. It's kind of a weird year in a way. Some of the teams, the AL Central is not really a great division. It's definitely the weakest in the American League. I think the Yankees are going to make playoffs. I think they're a wild card team. I just think the Orioles are a little bit better this year and have the capability to win it. That being said, if they play in a playoff series, I could definitely see the Yankees winning that. But for the 162 game season, I think the Orioles are going to take that division. The Central, the Royals are winning it. Guardians and Twins might be able to make some noise in the ultimate race for it all, but I don't think there's a whole lot coming out of that division. Now, the AL West, the Mariners currently lead. I have them winning it. You have the Rangers, the defending World Series champions, and the Astros as well that are playing close behind the other two teams, Angels and A's. Just not their year. Angels losing Ohtani. I believe Trout is hurt. And Oakland is non-existent. The fact that they've won as many games as they have right now, they're not even last or second to last in league record right now, which is shocking. But yeah, I mean, those two teams are non-factors. The Astros have the capability of getting it together and making some kind of noise, and same with the Rangers. They kind of did that last year. But Mariners, I think, have the best roster um, to be able to go 162 games this season. So, moving over to the National League, NL East, I have the Braves winning. And as full disclosure, similar to yesterday, how I mentioned the Hornets and the Penguins being my favorite teams, my favorite baseball team is the Braves. And I mean, I definitely play my biases. I try to indicate when I'm doing my best to not, but this is definitely a pick that is being affected by that. I think the Phillies are really good. They're definitely a playoff team. And I could easily see them winning a playoff matchup. But I have the Braves winning the division title. Moving over to the Central, I have the Brewers winning that. That's who's currently leading the division right now. Just not a whole lot there in that division. The Reds, don't really know much about, but there's not really a whole lot going on with them. Not a lot of noise, which is probably why I don't know much about them right now. Pirates are really young, and they have really good upside. I could see, maybe as soon as next year, really it becoming their division. If not, in 2 seasons, they're right there at the top. Cardinals got to figure a lot out. They're having a really hard time. They were a perennial division winner. They would win their division almost every season, and then they've really fallen off in recent years. Cubs also, past 8 or so years, they 8 years ago they're really good, winning the World Series, and then now it's kind of it's again a Jekyll and Hyde team where I don't know what's going to show up in a given year in a given game day. So, but I think the Brewers most consistent team. I don't know if they're the best team. I think the Pirates might be the best team. They're just so young. They have a lot to learn, a lot to grow into. But the Brewers winning that division this year, and then the NL West is the Dodgers division. If they don't win that division, something catastrophic happened to their season. I really could not see anyone else winning that division. I am a little surprised by Arizona's start. I definitely feel that they're a better team than they've been playing. They're probably my number one pick to be the second team in that division. It's more of a who's going to finish in second place and look to make playoffs behind the Dodgers. That's really how the NL West is going to go for the next 5 to 10 years. The Dodgers are really geared up to go pound for pound with, seemingly the Braves over the next, couple of seasons for the Braves for sure, but the Dodgers are definitely built for a more long-term success here. So that's all I have for baseball. We'll revisit this, periodically. We'll see what kind of how close I am with my division predictions at the end of the season. I feel pretty good about them, but that being said, I could easily see myself getting almost all of them wrong. There's got to be at least one or two. I'm looking at the Dodgers there that there's no way it doesn't happen. So I just want to dive really quickly into the WNBA. Fever and Sun played again last night. That was the season opener. And I've definitely watched the most of Caitlin Clark of anyone in the W this season, for good reason. She is a X factor when it comes to the WNBA. She is really getting a lot of eyes on the sport, really, bringing a lot of attention to the league and the game. And I'm not even a Caitlin Clark fan. I found myself cheering against her almost every single game that I watched of hers in college. But in the pros, it's a big jump of what you want to see if she can do what she did in college in the pros. You see glimpses of it. She's going to have to change her game. in a way, she's got to slow down. She plays a little too fast still, which is, causing a lot of turnovers, either directly from her or it's, getting off pace with teammates. But I mean, you see glimpses of it. She's got good reads. She has decent shot selection. She just, once again, speeds up a little too much. If she slows down just a little bit, and I'm not saying that she has to slow down at all times. She can still be go, go, go at certain points, but, just, find that new rhythm, and I mean, she'll be good. The Fever they're going to have a fine season. They might be, right there at playoffs. I don't think that they're going to be like competing for the title. It seems like the Aces, the Liberty, Seattle's making a lot of noise with their off season. So, I think it could be a good season at the top there, competitively wise. Also, you throw in the Sun. That's a good top 4 teams. And, the Fever, who's a middle of the road team, is a very entertaining team to watch as well. So the W is doing a lot of good things. It's definitely a league to watch. And, I will definitely talk about that more as this podcast continues on. But the final thing on the docket for today is the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open. We are in the round of 16 for it. There's 5 games today and 3 games tomorrow. So I'm just going to give my really quick predictions on matches. It's one of the funnest tournaments. As an American sports fan, it's the only time that you have teams from a lower division, really playing the main division teams in the U.S. You see it a lot more in European countries, but the U.S. Open Cup is a very special tournament. You won't get NHL teams playing against AHL teams or WHL teams or teams from the Q. It doesn't happen. So, really quick, first match, I have Charleston, Atlanta. I think Charleston's going to take that match. They're just a really good club. They're doing really well in the USL Championship this season. Atlanta is not really finding their full stride. They have really good players, and they should not be playing as bad as they are. But I really just think Charleston's going to be that, I could see them winning it this year, really. I think that they're really good, and they've made some runs in the past, but, this might be the year that a lower division team, first time since the Rochester Rhinos, win the U.S. Open Cup from a lower league. Second match of the day is New York City FC versus New Mexico United. That's actually NYCFC 2, sorry. And I want to say New Mexico United. I really want them to win this, but I think that NYCFC 2 is actually going to come out on top. They're the only MLS Next Pro club left, and it's funny because MLS really wanted, all of their MLS Next Pros to replace the senior teams. Instead, we got this really weird combination of MLS Next Pro and senior teams, and it just a weird tournament. MLS really just dropped the ball, and it was bad, really bad. For the tournament and for the MLS, it was just really bad look on all ends. Moving on to the next match is Sporting KC versus Tulsa. Sporting KC, they love their tournaments. They love this, this tournament in particular. I think that they win this one, and this could be one of the least competitive games of the day. But Sporting KC, all the way there. Next matchup, Sacramento Republic, San Jose. Sacramento Republic with that, 2022 final run where they ultimately lost to Orlando City. They've got a lot of experience in this tournament, and I don't know that San Jose club. They're not in the best of forms of late. Sacramento could catch them at a good time. I think San Jose should win this match. That's who I have winning it, but I'm also not surprised if Sacramento is able to pull it off. And the final match of today, we have LAFC versus Loudoun United. think LAFC is going for this. I would expect their best 11 this match, and LAFC putting their best 11 out there. That this one could get ugly as well. So I have LAFC in this match. Now for tomorrow's matches, I'm going to cover those today with not having the sport podcast tomorrow. We have the Indy 11 versus Detroit City, the Rowdies versus Dallas, Seattle versus Phoenix Rising. So I'm going to start off with the Rowdies and Dallas. Dallas, they're a fine club. Rowdies for USL Championship, they're a fine club. You put them on the field together, I think Dallas has a slight edge in that. I would expect this to be pretty competitive, but ultimately Dallas is going to take this one. Seattle versus Phoenix Rising. Seattle has had, the past few years, really a Jekyll and Hyde club. Phoenix, not bad down in USL. From what I can remember, they've had decent results. But I have Seattle taking this one, and hopefully getting back to where they were a couple years ago, where they were always making runs in either MLS or in USL, or in the US Open Cup, excuse me. In the last match, Indy 11 versus Detroit City. This is a really interesting match, not for on the field purposes, but for off the field. They've really, both clubs have looked to make steps into improving themselves, not necessarily to make the jump to MLS, but just, really solidifying themselves in USL Championship. Detroit City recently announced that they're looking to build a 14,000 seat soccer specific stadium, which is incredible. Indy 11 also had I believe it's $1.1 billion soccer park that their club would move into. And they had funding, they had all the plans in place, and then all of a sudden this MLS to Indianapolis came out, and the funding got pulled, which is very much a shame. I hate the MLS comes in and goes, we're just going to make our own thing. This is going to be ours. And it just kills anything that's already there instead of promoting up, the Indy 11. Or you had the San Diego, I believe, Current, and then they got wiped out because of the MLS club in San Diego. So it's very frustrating. It's almost insulting to the already existing soccer culture in a city, and I really wish it would end. I wish that I hope this doesn't affect the Indy 11, but this is almost a matchup of two clubs going opposite directions in a way, but still two successful clubs. I don't want to take anything away from them, but it is a very frustrating situation for those involved with the Indy 11. So those are my, I guess I need a match pick for that. I think Detroit City takes that one. Through all the drama of the off-field stuff, I think Detroit City takes it on the field. So that's everything I have for the U.S. Open Cup. I will talk about the results on Friday, and I believe the drawing for the next matchup should also be Friday morning. Should be about the same time as I'm recording this, so could hopefully be able to get a little bit of a look into the matchups for that. So that is all for this episode on May 21st. Once again, if you liked anything that I was talking about, if you want me to talk more about a certain sport, about a certain topic, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to like and subscribe. I am going to try to figure out how to make this a more pleasurable viewing experience. I'm not very good at editing, but I hope to be able to learn quickly, so that way it is not just the 626 Productions logo only. So bear with me on that. I hope to have that done in the near future. But until next time, guys, I'll see y'all later.